out, Captain. This place don't...
Great work.
This unit is currently, please return. Error. Tilt alarm engaged. Please do not kick this unit. This unit is please have a better than.
This is so stupid. Georgie, you asshole. What are you doing? Hey, you got those drinks? Don't tell me it's Glacial Age again.
When did you become this picky? Beer's beer. Hey, what are we celebrating anyway?
1 year on assignment. Only 10,000 more to go.
No shit. And that makes it 1 year trapped in this goddamn closet.
1 year getting chewed out by Olivia Ambrose for doing our jobs.
1 year drinking stolen beer.
And 1 year as partners. In crime. Partners in crime.
Hey, you okay? Your face is all red. Let me get you some water. Hold on.
Partners, Georgie? Are you out of your mind? Get it together!
Nicely done.
Supplies if you need them. No one lasts long on Gorgon unprepared. You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low on bullets out in Gorgon's far reaches, there ain't no one around here liable to help you out. Let me know if you're looking for something particular. You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten. All right, you know you better than I do. Just be sure you watch out for the Marauders. That's the #1 thing. Oh, and the Mants. You watch out for Marauders, Mants, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine. Only the meanest marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite. He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles. Sorry, been a minute since I last ate. Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles. That and a rocket launcher. Did I not mention that? Right, sorry. He's got a rocket launcher. Couldn't say. He kills anyone who gets close enough to act. Look, long story short, you do not fuck with Chuck. Best to avoid the Marauder camp entirely. Yeah. The Marauder camp way out to the east. And I sure hope you're asking so you can keep us safe. Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. It's got something to do with that scrapped Spacer's Choice. Damn alarm's been hollering at us for 5 years if it's been a day. You know, I don't dream anymore. It's all, please evacuate in a... I won't stop you if you want to have a go at it. But so you know, it's gonna take more than giving that control terminal a good old-fashioned... I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw man clean across the sprat. Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a... From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Found a pickaxe in the mine.
evacuate in an orderly fashion.
Is that an Apex Mark V queso atmospheric dome? I've never seen one in person. Magnificent.
If you have not been authorized...
Great work. Shh.
Is that what my thoughts sound like? La, I've been standing near that alarm too long. Hey again. What can... Also...
This unit reminds you that death is a prison without doors. Energy efficiency is it?
Come here. Let's have a chat. Don't want to chat? Fine. You're on my list now. I don't have time for this. All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now. Good. Look up. Now look down. Thank you. Got him from my mother. You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation. Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Welcome to the Sprat Shack. You can head on. Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better. First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty. This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting. Rule number 2, wipe your feet on the way downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way. That's why we have rule number 3. When people change, they stay outside, where they belong. Just don't ask me to... Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack...
That's us.
Yes, your presence screams high class.
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And I hate dirt. This is a sublight bar, so most of our regulars come to plunder the old labs. The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate, then venture out and try again. Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developing chemicals. The kind with nasty side effects. Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10-1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. Watch your...
Oh,
Are you my agent on the ground?
sorry?
I've been sent to meet a certain seller of certain merchandise. There's supposed to be a secret code.
Great work.
I don't know. Did you bring the goods?
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be? Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage. Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Lucky. Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road. The way he talked about the job, you just knew Lucky had hit pay dirt. Not that I was jealous. Around here, that sort of luck can be hazardous to your health. Awful shame about what happened to him. You know about that? Huh. Word must travel fast around these parts. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. I'm a bartender. Attention to detail is my middle name. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp. No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle. I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished. 3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind. Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me. Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why they say Adrenatime came from here. Just down the road at the old R&D lab. Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar. There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room. He's been here since opening day. I think he told me he got left behind when Spacer's Choice pulled out. Roscoe's drinks are on the house. We all know how it feels. He'll be all right. He's with the family now. He didn't tell me and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender. If you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind, and a lot of bad. Nice lady. Been coming around a lot these past few months. She isn't with Sublet. She spends most of her days drinking alone. I think she's looking to hire someone. If you're open. Now that you mention it, I thought I saw those two sharing stories over a pint. I don't speak ill of the dead, but Leonora deserves better company. What if... I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the and the weirdest thing of all, Adrena time still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own. Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs. When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Of course, the real treasure is whatever's locked up in the old facility. Until... You got... Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old... When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved into... Yes and... Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the... If there were any legal problems with this place,
Most businesses in Halcyon are run by Sprats, but this is the first I've heard of it being openly acknowledged.
You think a Sprat could own Edgewater? Oh. Imagine one wearing Mr. Thompson's little hat.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. Easy. His name's Matt. The beautiful thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. The Sprat Shack's gone through a lot of title holders over As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so... Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble. And I don't want any trouble. Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony. Mostly on the way to somewhere better. That's how we get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well. Name your...
You're a humbug, Trixie. And worse... That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then?
I risked my life sneaking around Marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done...
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment!
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage.
That's what I've been trying to tell him, but he won't listen.
It's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly tag. Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit.
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something... Would you do me a favor and weigh in as a third party? I can use an unbiased set of eyes on the problem, and an outsider... Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the general.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation. So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people. I climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!"
I don't know about legal, but it's legit by sublight standards. Assuming anyone was around to hear it, which we can't know for sure.
Someone must have heard me. They just ain't brave enough to step...
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
Quit leading the prosecution, Hullhead. Anyway, that's my story, ma'am. I drew next in the dirt, with my toe. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
That ain't no...
She ain't even from around here.
Here's a 6-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change. A little too often if you ask me, but that's the sublight way. Come and chat if you're up.
That's my captain.
Very diplomatic, Captain. Though fighting would be preferable to another conversation such as that.
Freddy's a blathering idiot, but... he's my blathering idiot.
Sorry about Freddy and Trixie. When they're not fighting over salvage, they're fighting over... They like to blow off steam during work hours, but as soon as they clock out, they turn into a pair of... So, what... Come back.
Because some of them are looking at us like, maybe not. Keep him quiet, Cap.
You don't look like one of the salvagers. You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here, and whose journey is far. Confidence. The scavengers around here, they're faking it. You're the real deal. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the Marauders would eat me alive. Looking for something out there. Been pay- Well put. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes. Nowhere good. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. That Jerome always chose the right thing, even when it got... This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's... No point in denying it, he died on this rock, likely torn apart by marauders, unless... I don't like to imagine what happened. You'd really do that for me? Law. And I don't have much, but if you help... Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Yeah? That old flirt? Yeah, I let him buy me a drink or two. He talked my ear off about exciting jobs he'd done. All lies, I'm sure. He fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. That man had baggage like you wouldn't believe. I didn't think any... He bragged about having the key to some sort of maintenance area in one of the old buildings. I never saw it. He also asked if I wanted to see something gross and slimy. He put on quite a front, but I think he was weary. Like he'd seen too much and had too little to show for it. Guess we were kindred spirits in a... Sure thing. The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. They wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everywhere.
Huh, who's this now? Wonder if they could... Nah, who am I kidding? Holy shit, a fresh face. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system. Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that... Some kind. Yeah, that's a good one. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and... If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an...
Dr. Wells ain't that old, Captain.
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone. Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was... I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet. Right on the money. Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right... Help me get my recordings back so I can finally... Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found... So I took to hiding them all over the fucking ass. Thought I was so clever. Oh, Georgie? Yeah, she helped me with interviews. A real wit. When things got crazy, I shoved her onto the last ship off Gorgon. With any luck, she tried every which way to stay. But it was my contract keeping us here, not hers. Didn't seem fair she'd have to suffer. Oh, I've tried. I've caught a couple of rides out with sublight folks. But the board's fixers, and I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with marauders just to fulfill a line item on. No shit? All right. One of them I stashed in the Office of Creative Incub. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's. Seems like a good idea at the time. Someone had started a fire, folks were shooting other folks. You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main labs. Didn't have much of a choice. The primals had gotten loose, couple of them were chasing me. The recordings just ended up wherever I hit. The final one is in human inquiry. It's tucked behind a pipe in observation room. What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant. Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Used to be a shipping warehouse. Supplies came in, deadly chemicals went out.
What have you got there? Adrenatime, I think. I found some in an
Nicely done. Preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
If I'm not mistaken, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, that eye might be the key Lucky mentioned. What strangeness have we involved ourselves in here?
Someone's in here. Oh, lol. It's coming back up again. I'm all right. That last one really emptied my guts. No, wait. Here comes more.
What do you think you're doing? I don't want any trouble out of you.
It's not fair, I tell you. I only had 2 drinks.
So...
Quietly now.
Spirit, we're gonna finish your work and put you to rest, good and proper.
Well, let's just hope we're luckier than... Nice.
this unit. Please have a...
Here we go! Got 'em all. Oh, this looks just like the abandoned parts of Edgewater.
This place is a natural habitat of marauders.
This is my second month on adrenatine. It's like the color came back. Like I was tuned to the wrong band all this time, and now the static's gone. I'm finally clear-headed, focused. There's so much I'm excited to do. I feel like me again. Side effects? I guess I've noticed people staring at me a lot more lately. Hard to talk to them sometimes. Feels like they don't get it. Maybe they just don't trust it. Or maybe they don't trust me.